The Hermit energy has been coming up very strongly in my readings over the last few days, and that's somewhat unsurprisingly because it is Virgo energy. We've just had the first of 2 Virgo new moons, where in Virgo season there is a lot for why that could be, but it's this feeling of something about isolation, because that has also come up in my own life in the last 24 hours in a few ways actually. I love this. Anyway, there's a magician. I just feel like there's something here, and I'm actually going to get that card out for that reason. I feel like there's a message here for whoever needs to receive it. On this card, it says healing, solitude, and inner work. So maybe there are some of you that have been called into solitude to do some inner work or some healing right now. Let's see what wants to come through. For those of us that are feeling called into isolation, I'm getting something about preparation. I think it was the weekend energy reading. There was something about walking through the door and the table had been set the other side for you. That's almost coming back in, but it's like you're still this side of the door, but you're preparing something before you can walk in and meet what is waiting for you. Don't know what that one was. But let's just see. Anything else from this text? 1, 2, 3. Okay, there's definitely a healing theme. We've got 4 of Swords at the bottom of the deck, which is a healing card that also says rest and recovery, which is isolation. The 3 cards that are out are all major arcana that also speak to healing and isolation as well. So, wow. This is a huge message. In fact, I can't really think of any other cards in the tarot that would speak more to this energy than the 4 we've got here with 4 of Swords at the bottom of the deck. So as I said, I've already taken Hermit out because that came through in our shuffle, and that was the intention of the reading. The other 2 cards that came out were the Temperance, which is healing, moderation, balance, and guidance, and the Star, which is also a healing card. On this card in this deck, it says guiding light, inspiration, faith, hope, miracles, and infinite energy. Temperance is also, both of those have guiding light, guidance on it. To some degree, the Hermit is seeking that divine guidance. So there's 3 different messages here coming together, and I feel like it's not because there's 3 different messages. I'm feeling like the purpose of this isolation that you're feeling called to is to allow you to do healing, to connect with the divine guidance that needs to be heard, to allow you to see the path forward, the hope, the miracles of what is the next chapter for you. I just split to the Moon. So there's possibly also something here about connecting through this isolation, connecting more deeply with your intuition, with your dreams, with the spirit world, what lives within your subconscious, again, from a healing point of view, possibly. But again, as I said, we've just had the new moon in Virgo at 0 degrees, the start of this chapter, and we're going through a full moon in Pisces, lunar eclipse at the start of September. Then we have the second new moon in Virgo, which is the Hermit energy, and I think it's the 23rd of September. So I'm feeling like it's all this energy. There's something about this eclipse season and preparing yourself for what exists the other side of that. I have interesting. This deck is usually not out on my desk, and I just got it out for another reading. It's a Starseed deck by Rebecca Campbell. I just split to Earth Pulsing. By the time I post this, I will have an intuitive message on YouTube about an Earth event that shifts everything for us, but also how it makes us recognize our connection with Earth. Oh gosh, there's so much coming through. Within that video, I talk about a podcast I listened to where Ann Tucker, who channels the angels and channels a lot about Earth events, was speaking around how Earth is going into isolation right now too. So I feel like for those of you that are connecting to the energy of this reading, that are feeling called into isolation, you have a strong connection with Earth. And you also might be finding things coming to the surface very quickly, almost uncontrollably, that is out of character for you. I'm getting something around Earth angels, and there's a big part of what you're moving through that's supporting Earth right now, including energetically and what she's moving through. The reason why you're being called into isolation is not only to work through your stuff and to prepare for what's to come, but I'm getting you're also alchemizing some of this energy for the Earth herself. But there's also something around, I'm struggling with the word to describe what this is feeling like. Ushering, but much more like this sacred guardianship, guiding, ushering. There is a word, I'm really struggling with it. I have this visual of those of us in this energy. Imagine Earth as a grieving person, and we're standing around her, guiding her to where she's going, moving her through this process. And we stay still with her now in this moment, but we move with her as she goes to move into her. In that reading I was just talking about before, it was she is birthing her new self. It's midwife kind of energy, actually, of what we're stepping into. Somehow we're energetically holding the space for her to move through that in the most gorgeous way. Wow, there's some big readings coming through at the moment. It's so beautiful. I'm loving this. Whoa. Back to Earth School, which generally speaks to our time here on Earth, but I'm just soul growth. Yeah, there's something about growth at this point in time of Earth herself. Deep cellular healing and Earth. Physical and emotional healing for the Earth herself. To allow this growth, to allow this rebirth. So I've got 2 decks to speak a bit more to Earth energy, because I often have Earth energy come through, because I am definitely part of this collective. This one is the Elemental Oracle. What do you want us to know about this as it relates to Earth herself, Spirit? Thank you. The biome at the bottom, how we're all connected. And then silence, which is a snow card, but the message is definitely silence, and alchemy. We're going through this period of stillness, silence with her, holding space for her, holding space for ourselves, to alchemize into this next chapter, into this rebirth for her and for us as humanity. Oh my goodness, chills. This is 34 and this is 43. So we're mirroring, and in that mirroring, that's how we're energetically holding space and recognizing, not even recognizing, I think if you're relating to this message, you already recognize it, but it's how we're holding this connection. Yeah, the holding and guiding and midwife piece feels really strong in this message. For us, walking this path, let's see. Spirit, what do you want to know for those that are supporting Earth energetically at this point in time? Or maybe Earth, what do you want us to know? Gaia or Spirit? Death and rebirth. This is part of our sacred purpose. So death and rebirth, as I said, this is what Earth is undergoing, but if we're energetically mirroring her and holding space for her, and the reason why we're going into this Hermit is there is a piece of this for us right now too. Alchemizing darkness into light. Alchemy through stillness, silence, healing, isolation. Sacred purpose at the bottom of the deck. Eternal flame, ancestral legacy. There's something coming through there around either ancestrally or within our past lives. This has always been our role. There has always been a piece of connection to Earth within us. And then the other 2 cards that came out were precognition, psychic ability, future vision, and hidden knowledge, Akashic records, silent understanding. Silence to allow us to connect more with the Earth and understand what she is going through and all the wisdom she holds. And I do feel like probably most people that I'm speaking to will have already or will start having some precognition of the physical manifestation of what we might see on the Earth. It's a very powerful, very, very important mission, really, that you're on right now. So honor it. I know we're so often taught to not rest and not take breaks and not isolate, and the world is set up to go, go, go and feed into all the things I often speak about. But I'll just put it this way. This is more important than anything else that you need to do right now. Find the time.